C.H. Spurgeon, who 100 years ago was a very famous orator, said, "Our anxiety does not empty tomorrow of its sorrows. It only empties today of its strengths." So it looks like it's trying to protect us from danger tomorrow, but what it's doing is sapping all of our strength today. Jodi Picoult said, "Anxiety is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you very far." In other words, anxiety becomes a debilitating force. Anxiety uses a lot of energy but doesn't accomplish anything positive. Anxiety wears us down. Anxiety becomes a prison, an enemy. And that's the sad thing that many of you have experienced. Let me just go to what are some warning signs of anxiety. If you haven't kind of thought this through, it's often important to understand your own anxiety patterns. What happens in me when anxiety is triggered, so that you can spot it. Because often anxiety has been your norm for so long that you're not even aware when it's being triggered and it's changing how you think and how you feel and how you act, because it's been happening subconsciously for so long. So to begin heal and change, it's identifying your patterns. Thinking patterns. If you find yourself all of a sudden obsessive thinking, you're persistently going over and over, worrying about something, it just won't get out of your head, and you realize that your worrying is actually making it a bigger problem than it probably actually is. That's a sign of anxiety. So some call it a busy brain chatter, or just obsessive thinking. So be alert to that. And then most of us, when a problem comes along, we need to think it through. That's not anxiety. That's processing the problem and coming up with a solution. What anxiety, where the warning sign is once I've thought it through, I can't let it go. I have to keep thinking about it. It's an inability to stop obsessing about it, worrying about it. And then is they all of a sudden have difficulty concentrating. It's like they get ADHD all of a sudden. They have trouble focusing. They have trouble slowing their brain down. It just is bouncing all over. And so some refer to it as they get a brain fog. They can't listen, concentrate. They can't think very clearly because their brain is just in that state. And then another warning sign is if you see yourself all of a sudden becoming more focused on negative, going to becoming quite critical, negative, jumping to worst case scenario, beginning to go to all or nothing, black and white thinking, it just needs to be this way or that way, and it becomes very black and white. Those can be warning signs that you're sliding into anxiety. But then there's the physical signs. So fatigue, trouble sleeping is a great warning sign that anxiety could be the cause. Or you notice that you clench your jaw, you grind your teeth, you tense your muscles, you now get headaches because all the muscles in your neck and shoulders are tight all the time. Sometimes some people start to get nauseous or diarrhea or irritable bowel. Others can't sit still and their leg is jiggling. They just need a distraction. They can't sit still. They're up, just bouncing around, doing things. Others, they go to eating away their anxiety, so they just start snacking more. Others, they procrastinate on everything. So those are some of the physical things that can happen that are warning signs that anxiety has been triggered. And then, beyond that, there's some behaviors that tend to come out when a person is feeling anxiety. So there tends to be an increase in irritability. You're just less patient with people. And with that, you make more demands on people or have higher expectations. you all of a sudden expect them to do everything perfectly, to not set any boundaries with you. So your demands increase. Some people, they become more needy and they need more reassurances from people. Some start to second guess themselves, so they question everything. They second guess every decision that they've made. Others develop very compulsive actions when their behaviors, when they're feeling anxiety. So all of a sudden they got to organize everything, or they bite their nails and they can't stop, or pick their skin, or OCD type things flare up. All of those can be behavioral things that indicate anxiety has been triggered. So get to know your patterns. But then let's go to, okay, how do I parent myself or my children if they are going through anxiety? So let me give you a list of things, and all of these I think are very significant. But understand it's a process. This is not 3 easy steps and it'll be fixed in a week. This is going to be a gradual, slow, messy growth process.